one more snafu with scheduling, and then I'll be a yes.
Okay.
That's what I say. Somebody take these kids.
Well, I shared a little.
No one noticed.
Like, what is that one? Oh, that's just another one.
It won't matter.
I shared a little of my story during introductions, but I started, again, it makes me feel so old, 21 years ago, and at that time I was a stay-at-home mom with a 1-year-old little boy, and I was pregnant with my second little boy, and we were really struggling on one income. And I went to a Pampered Chef show and fell in love with my first ever Pampered Chef show, fell in love with everything, signed the agreement, and that was fall of 1996, fall of 1996. And that time there was a 3-month super starter period where you could earn great products if you met goals your first 3 months. So that was October, November, December, and I did my super starter and was gung-ho. Well, then I'm 8 months pregnant, and it's the holidays, and get through the holidays. And then I had my second son the beginning of February. And then I just stayed active for like the next year. I had 2 little boys under 2, and I just stayed active and tried to keep my neck above water. And it was right as my second was about to turn 1. And I was like, okay, truly, like, I've got to start making money with this business, or I need to find something at least part-time to be bringing in money. Well, the person who recruited me left the company shortly after she recruited me, and her director, who was a state away, never really reached down to me, nor did I know to reach up to her. So everything I did, like Superstar and everything, I just kind of did on my own. So I had, and probably a bit of an active from above, I had an opportunity to meet somebody who did Pampered Chef locally. And she started talking about meetings, and I was like, oh, there are meetings? And she was like, yeah. So she invited me to a Pampered Chef meeting, and it was actually done by 3 directors, and it was a really big group. And I went to my first Pampered Chef meeting, and it was great because met so many, great women with great ideas. And I don't know if it was the first or the second, but it was one of the first couple months that I started with that hospitality group that they started talking about going to conference. And it was in July in Chicago. And there were a lot of people going, and of course they were trying to motivate other people to go. And the stories they shared, it just sounded amazing. And also, I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 little boys, and just a trip with the girls to Chicago sounded fabulous. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, maybe next year I could spend the money and go to conference. How fabulous that would be, because we were really struggling. So I went home and I talked to my husband Dave and told him, oh, this sounds great, maybe next year. And he said, Deb, charge it, do whatever you need to do, go learn how to make the money. Like, go learn this business, learn how to make it happen. And so I'm so thankful that he was really my encouragement, because I handle our finances and we didn't have the money, but I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do that. And so I charged it, and I went to Chicago, and it was fabulous. I mean, for 3 days, I saw the big picture of what Pampered Chef really was. And again, this was, 20 years ago, what Pampered Chef was, and met so many incredible women who had wonderful success stories, and all very different, because as we all know, the beauty of this business is it is what it can be, it is what you want it to be. So just learned so much, came home with the help of my hospitality group, really put everything in motion, and that was in July. By the fall, I hit my first financial goal, which was making $1,000 a month with Pampered Chef, and I became a future director. And
that's like a team leader now.
Yeah, two recruits. And it just continued from there, and from there on I never missed a conference. There was leadership for future directors and directors in the winter, and one in the summer, and everything I ever spent came back to me in multiples, just with being able to learn so much. I mean, I think I'm so excited to have a real director, not just a hospitality director. And I think Sarah, just from the little bit that I have gotten to know her, I mean, you're so wonderful and positive and motivated, and I get off the phone with Sarah and I feel like I've gotten a little Pampered Chef shot in the arm, you know, a little motivation shot. Well, going to conference is like having a Pampered Chef IV drip in you for 3 days, and just filling you with not only the knowledge, but how to come back and put it in to action wherever you are in your business. Because I remember one of the conferences I went to later, I was kind of in a rut working toward my directorship, and so I was really kind of very frustrated. It would be like I would get close and then I'd lose one. And so Becky Ishii, who is still an executive director with this company, I went to a workshop at conference, and she cured my problem. And sometimes it's talking to the right person or hearing the right thing when you're in the right moment. And I'll never forget what she said. It was something like, I wanted so bad, it was about me. And you know, she turned it all around, and it's like, recruiting is a gift you are offering someone. You know, that it is something you are offering, that if you think this can work for you. And that turned it around, and I got my directorship. So no matter where you are in your business, you can benefit from it. And if I wasn't going on a yoga retreat with 3 of my buddies who I recruited to go on the yoga retreat, we're all paid, and which is the same exact weekend, I would be going to conference with you guys, because I know how much it can do. So if you're on the fence, if your husband won't do it, let the girls tip you over, and go invest in your business, because you'll get it back. You'll get it back many, many times over.
Awesome.
And it's fun. And it's fun.